Welcome to this week's of Adopt a Pet. This is Smoky, and we are bringing the show to you one day early because, of course, tomorrow we will not be here in observance of Canada Day. We'll all be prancing smartly about town, enjoying the festivities. But this is Smoky, so tell us a little bit about Smoky.
Yes, Smoky has been at the shelter since the beginning of January.
Oh.
She was actually brought in. She was found in the Goulet area as a feral kitten.
Oh. Something
Yes.
feral coming out of Goulet.
And you would never know it as you see her with me here today.
Okay, yeah, no, she seems very loving.
She actually did really make us work for it, though. She's one of the ones that she was an extreme holdout. She lived under a little stool that we give the ferals for comfort.
Okay.
And didn't want us touching her. We had to clean around her. And just with continual daily interaction, this is the mush ball we've created.
She is now officially a putty cat.
Yes.
Very nice little kitty. She likes to have her belly rubbed.
She honestly, now she just wants to be held all the time. Like, you can carry her around. She'd probably even be good with kids. Because you know how little kids want to carry their cats around? She wants to be held and carried. You would never know that she was, at 12 weeks of age, a feral kitten coming into the shelter.
Wow.
Now,
She's got that very unusual fur, too, where it's like dark. What do you call that?
she's a smoke. Oh, we call it a smoke coat. And very clever name. We called her Smoky.
Well, there you go. There you go. So now you said that she is on the point now of getting spayed.
It was spayed, yes.
Oh, she is spayed.
Yep.
Okay. So she's over it, and she's ready for her forever home.
Yes.
So as always, the process in this moment, can I ask, because I have had some questions, why is the shelter still closed in person?
What we noticed over the last 2 years with COVID happening and having to close our doors is, especially with our dogs, they became a lot calmer.
Okay.
The staff, we were having better interactions with them. They were a lot less stressed. They were more comfortable in their cages because they weren't having to have interactions with strangers continually throughout the day.
Okay, interesting.
We actually had a reduction in disease, like as far as like upper respiratory kennel cough, that sort of thing in the shelter as well. People reaching in, touching one dog, then reaching in, touching the next.
Despite the signs that say,
Despite all of the signs. So we haven't had a single instance of kennel cough in our dog runs since the dog runs have been closed.
Wow,
and
that's
then
significant.
We get a lot of dogs in that, for whatever their various backgrounds are, they've got issues with sharing their space. So they become possessive of their things, their space. So those are dogs that we typically wouldn't even be able to have on our adoption side.
Okay.
Just for fear of people coming in and their level of fear, which ends up, regressing our progress with them.
Okay.
So we've noticed a big change of behavior, and it's really worked for the dogs more in particular than.
So really not, because a lot of people are making the assumption that it's still around like COVID precautions. It is not that as well at all. It is a measure to keep the dogs kind of healthy and safe and
exactly.
And
we have
stress.
very limited room in the shelter. We have 18 kennels on our adoption side, and then 18 kennels in our city pound side.
Okay.
So with the availability of being able to house dogs we wouldn't normally have over there, it's made for more comfort on both sides. So our pound side is less crowded. It's just for the dog's mental well-being is actually, it's made a big difference. And, and the adoption process that we have now is, I would say, probably 98% forever home successful.
Excellent.
So we're not getting returns. We're not seeing that it wasn't a good fit because we're vetting the process a little bit differently since COVID.
Interesting. So, and you hear this in a lot of agencies, how, the pandemic did force them to do things differently than they ordinarily do. And, success is a result. One question that I would have then, so understanding that you do have to make your application in advance, okay, and you can do so by going directly to the website. I will be posting, as I always do, a little article with hyperlinks directly to both the adoption process as well. I've started including the fostering information. You can go in person to the site at 962 Second Line East.
Yep, right at the entrance to the dog park.
Okay, right at the entrance to the dog park. Submit your application in advance, and then you will be contacted to arrange a meeting. Now, just to give the viewers an idea of, from beginning to end, so I submit my application, how long roughly does the process take?
It honestly, it really depends based on the individual themselves. Cats, it can be a lot quicker. We try to get our cats fixed ahead of time. Kittens, so with a cat, you could be looking at anywhere from a day to a week to 2 weeks, depending on spay-neuter availability if it's an adult. The dogs, it can be anywhere from a week to a month, possibly even a little bit longer.
Kitty.
If, like in Millie's case from last week, she needs to get surgery still.
Hey,
so
kitty.
we're looking at a longer process for her.
Yeah.
But some dogs are already neutered, spayed, and they're just waiting for the right application to come along.
Kitty.
And once we invite you in to meet them, if it's going well and you want to take them home, we allow you to at that time. Everything's in place ahead of time. So it really just depends on the individual animal.
Kitty.
She's getting frisky.
Feisty, feisty.
And for the cats, like we understand that, the cats are very independent, their personalities are different. So if you have an application in for a cat, we'd invite you in and we could sit you in our volunteer room and let you meet various cats. You don't have to, be steadfast on one. We can kind of suggest based on their personalities.
Okay, and of course, like the characteristics of your home, children, other
Exactly.
pets, etc.
Because we really do try our best to get to know these guys, and we spend a lot of time with them. And especially, guys like this girl here, the staff, like we put a lot of time and effort into her. And this is, so we know her really well. We know what would suit her best.
For an animal to go into a home and then have to come back. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, so once again, the article will go up this afternoon with the process detailed. Keeping in mind there are other ways that you can support the Sault Ste. Marie Humane Society. You can bring some kibble or some wet food, some pate, or you can opt to help them with their kitten infestation by becoming a foster home. Maybe you're not sure if you have what it takes or if you have the time or energy to devote to a pet, and this is an excellent way to test the waters. Laura, as always, so grateful for you to come in and bring these beautiful babies. Kitty, kitty. So is she available now?
She's available, absolutely.
And she's purring.
And she's a doll.
She's not feral.
No, not anymore.
Come on.
She has been completely climatized to the life of a house cat.
Meh. Meh. All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for this week. So, happy Canada Day, however you celebrate. And Laura, thank you once again. And we will see you again next week. Let go. Oh.